Hello friends, Those Back Pages here. I hope you're well. It's good to see you. I decided I hadn't turned the camera around in a while, so go ahead and give it a shot. Like I say to you guys all the time, put yourself out there, get yourself on video. If not for you, then for your friends and family and loved ones who someday you might not be around and they'll get some video to hear and see you and hear you talk about something you are passionate about, something you love, something you care about, something you enjoy. What made me want to make today's video is a friend of mine sent me a message yesterday, had a link to a YouTube video that was put out almost a year ago. And I won't give the YouTuber the exposure, but he started talking about how baseball cards from 30 years ago are worthless now, and it's funny because he gave a brief history of his very brief history of his backstory, and how he and his pop used to go to the card shows and the card stores and stuff, and there were card stores on every corner, and most of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about if we were doing this 30 years ago. Some of you have been doing this longer, some shorter, some of you guys are just coming back. Some of you guys I'm 48, so some of you guys are in my range, some of you guys 10 years younger, some of you are much younger, handful of you are probably older. But it got me thinking, and he actually went on in the video to shred a Mattingly Topps rookie, a Ozzie Smith rookie. Those are the first two cards he shredded. Oh, this is worthless now. I paid such and such for this, and I was going to be rich and yada 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 and all that jazz, and it's worthless. And he had it in the top loader. He took it out of the top loader. He put it in the shredder. Cringeworthy and disgusting, upsetting. I had to start, and even before that, he started saying that, there were a few baseball strikes in the 90s. He said, there were 4 strikes. And then went to say that baseball is dying and the usual crap that the uninformed tend to spew. And he said that, and the point I stopped listening and just fast forwarding, so when he said he said baseball is going to go the way of bowling. I just said, this is ridiculous. Then it went fast forward. He shredded a Mattingly, Ozzie Smith, 87 Bonds, Donruss, some other stuff. I don't remember. Oh, he burned a 89 Donruss Griffey. I mean, obviously he was probably just doing this for the views. But it hit home because I wanted to say that, okay, it was the junk wax era, as it's been termed. The quote-unquote value is not there. But then again, I say, how do you define value? How do you put, what kind of dollar value do you put on your memories? He sat there and said he used to go to the shops with his pop. And he said his pop is no longer living. So what kind of value do you put on that? you know, in my last video, I showed some Jordans and some Brady's and some mail and such. And a friend of mine, Steve, you guys know him, Purple GT22, real guy. And he's, you know, he's going through a lot of shit right now. And if you're not following his channel, I don't know what to tell you, but you know, he commented, and I won't go into his personal business. He's not private about it, but it's his business, and if you're following on, you know what I'm talking about. But he had seen one Jordan card that I showed off, and you know, he's like, man, I remember. I'm paraphrasing. I'm sorry, Steve, but you know, he hadn't thought about that card in years. You know, and he grew up with his mom, and she would take him down to the card shop when he was, you know, in his early teens, and you know, if he did good in school or for Christmas or for birthdays and such, he would say, hey, I like this card, that card, and she'd on the slide pick it up, and he'd get it as a present. Something to that effect. That's not unique to Steve or any of us. That's, you know, that's how it was back then. You know, what kind of price do you put on that? The memories. How do you put a price tag on memories? 16-year-old Eric is riding in the spring. He's riding his bike in the spring of 1987. Either 15 or just turned 16. I don't remember exactly the date. I do remember it was raining. Not hard, but it was a rain, and I had my hoodie on. I rode my bike down to the Ti Amo. Some of you might know what that is. It's like I don't even know if they exist anymore. It's a magazine cigar shop. You know, tobacco and magazines and candy and cards and all that stuff. I remember vividly. I closed my eyes and I remember riding my bike. The place was probably, oh geez, a mile away from my house. Probably about a mile away from my house, but I had my bikes. It's not that big a deal. But it was raining. And I remember riding down to the store, to the Ti Amo, buying a box of 87 Topps baseball. Taking that box and putting it under my hoodie because it was raining, and riding home. I remember what I got. I don't remember what I did when I got home, but clear as day, 32 years later, I remember riding my bike in the rain because I wanted baseball cards. Sure, we all thought, oh, we're going to be rich. You know, this 88 Topps ending case is going to put my kids through college. All right, so what? It didn't happen. But you still have those memories. You can't take the memories from you. The memories you have of these cards. Your favorite card. Your friend's favorite cards. You knew you studied the back of your cards. You studied the front of your cards. You knew what the cards looked like. You had them to memory. Sure, they're worth a nickel. There's really nothing in 87 Topps worth more than a nickel. You want to argue Bonds and Larkin, and you can buy a vending case from Steve, from Baseball Card Exchange, Steve. You can buy a vending case for like $90. You get 12,000 Topps, 87 Topps cards. You get 24 different boxes, 500 in each box. It's like $90. Do the math. It's not, you know, it's kindling. It's the winter time's coming. You start your fire pit with them. You have good memories, though. So I wanted to talk a little bit on that, because it was disturbing to watch that video. Because a lot of times people are way, way, way too intertwined, caught up, however terminology you want to use, in the quote-unquote assigned value of a card. Never mind the assigned grade and all that other BS. the assigned value in a card, the monetary value. Because at the end of the day, it's just a card. Cards are important, don't get me wrong. Cards have played a very important part in my life. Many different aspects of my life, many different periods of my life. Gotten me through a lot of hard times in life. Mentally, financially. It's just something to think about, guys. Because we've got so many of you guys coming back. And it's great. I can't thank you enough. I've had a couple guys tell me, hey, Eric, you inspired me to just hit click on the camera, on the video, on the phone, and make videos. Perfect. Perfect. There's no right way to, there's no wrong way to make a video. Just share your knowledge and share your collection and share your passion. You know, everybody is at their own pace. Everybody does it their own way, collects their own way. No wrong way to collect, as I said before. So yeah, I felt the need to get this one out there. This was an important one for me to discuss, talking about how do you put a price on memory. You can't, guys. Alright, so what? Junk wax didn't work out. We keep collecting because we love it. You know, that's the real truth. We're gonna keep collecting. So again, I want to thank you for taking your time to spend with me on my time as I spew on about things. I can't stress enough how much you matter. You're important. You have value. If you need help, if you need to reach out to someone. You're not alone. You are very important. Anything anyone out there is going through, if it's in not such a good way, you're not the first person to go through that. It's important to remember that. You have value, you have worth, you matter.